So I've been a Stephen King fan all my life, so I thought it's time for a little bit of show and tell. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be showcasing my Stephen King collection. I have shown it briefly in a previous video where I did my bookshelf tour, where I briefly showed the covers facing spine out, and I thought it was high time to show them to you in a bit more detail and show you each individual book. Now there's a fair bit to get through. I'll go as quick as I can. I'm not going to give a detailed plot synopsis of every book that I show, but looking at booktube and seeing what other booktubers have in their collections, I always enjoy watching those sort of videos, and I thought, well, if you show me yours, I'll show you mine. So I'm going to do this in a couple of different stages. So I'm going to show you groups of the different formats I've got. So I'm going to be starting with the smaller A format or mass market paperbacks, then I'll move into the B format, which are the slightly bigger paperbacks, then the C format, and then finally the hardcovers. So let's kick it off, shall we? Now, just before I do, it's my collection. I'm pretty proud of it. I've amassed it over a long span of time. I've been a massive Stephen King fan since the age of 15, so ever since picking up a copy of Christine, I've been hooked ever since. So very proud of this collection, and let's show it to you. So firstly, I'll show you the small serialized copies of the Green Mile, which are my wife's copies. So let's just have a look at those. We've got Volume 1, The Two Dead Girls. We've got Volume 2, House on the Mile. Volume 3, Coffee's Hand. Volume 4, The Bad Death of Edward Delacroix. And number 5, Night Journey. And finally, the 6th installment, Coffee on the Mile. So these were very, very popular back in the day where they got serialized, and it was only recently that I found in a discount book outlet a green bind-up copy of all 6 parts, which I haven't actually, shame on me, I haven't actually read The Green Mile. I've actually seen the movie countless times, and I think it's high time I read this. And I wouldn't think it would take me that long. I should put it on one of my monthly TBRs. Alright, so next I've got some retro paperbacks here. I firstly have Cujo in this very retro edition with the foil font where it says Stephen King and the silver foil for the title. Also have another one in that same series, The Dead Zone. Pretty nostalgic. And I've got a couple of really nice editions of some earlier works as well. I have Skeleton Crew, which is my favourite of Stephen King's book of stories. I mean, for the mist alone, it's just amazing. But really nice cover art, and these ones are very, very rare now. I have the same in different seasons, and I have the same with Firestarter. I just love the cover art of these ones. They're just fantastic, and they're very durable. You can read them, you can open them up a fair way and not crease the spine, so that's something that's really attractive about those, and very easy to handle. Alright, next I have a copy of The Regulators by Richard Bachman, and then we move into a few editions that I really am proud to have in my collection. These are the ones that came out in the late 80s, and they had the tagline on the bottom, "Words are his power," and the cover art is very nice for these. So firstly I have Thinner, The Shining, my favourite Stephen King book of all time, The Dark Half, Pet Sematary, love this one. It's got a picture of Church, the cat. I have Salem's Lot, love these ones. And the next ones I have are in this version. Now apologies, you may not be able to see the gold font that Stephen King's written in, but we've got from a Buick 8. We have Gerald's Game, and then some later ones. We have the Tommyknockers, my paperback copy of It, which is immaculate, and my mass market paperback of The Stand, which again is in sensational condition. Alright, so let's start off with the B format paperbacks that I've got. So we have The Dark Tower, The Gunslinger, Drawing of the Three, The Wastelands, Wizard and Glass, my favourite out of the Dark Tower series, Wind Through the Keyhole, Wolves of the Colour, Song of Susanna, and of course the final volume, The Dark Tower. Alright, now I've shown these before, but I'm going to show them in a bit more detail this time. We have these beautiful Halloween Stephen King editions that have come out in the last couple of years. We have Bag of Bones, Christine, look at that cover art, isn't it sensational? Cell, The Shining, favourite book of all time, and we have Rose Madder, probably my favourite cover out of all the Halloween editions. The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, Carrie, and Misery. Fantastic versions. Also got the hard case crime editions of Joyland and Later, which I really enjoyed. And I've got The Talisman by King and Straub. I also have The Black House, which those two I only upgraded recently because I did have some old ready copies and I just wanted new ones, and because I could, I bought them. We have Full Dark No Stars, this weighty tome, Under the Dome, another version of The Stand, which these are the 2011 editions. And I also have Needful Things, and I have 4 Past Midnight, Dolores Claiborne, Gerald's Game, and another edition of It. And that's it for the larger paperbacks. Now we'll get into the larger C format or trade paperbacks. Alright, so here we go with Lisey's Story, June McKee, Just After Sunset, Full Dark No Stars, 11/22/63, fantastic book, might put that on my TBR for this year as well. Mr. Mercedes, haven't actually read that one yet, and I want to wait until I get the remaining 2 books, Finders Keepers and End of Watch, in that series. So once I get all 3, I'll probably have a go at reading them back to back. Bazaar of Bad Dreams, Revival, another brilliant one. Another weighty tome, Sleeping Beauties, co-written with Stephen King's youngest son, Owen King. The Outsider, The Institute, If It Bleeds. That was a book of stories that came out a couple of years ago, and found the writing absolutely brilliant. He just keeps getting better and better. And of course we've got the most recent one, Billy Summers. A little bit annoyed by the embossed coating coming off the title a little bit. Not sure why that happened, but a little bit disappointed with that. But that is it for the C format trade paperbacks. Alright, so I did a bit of a workout hauling those bad boys up onto the desk. Let's have a look at my hardcovers. We have a beautiful edition of the Bachman books. We have a lovely edition of The Stand. Love this one. It's a book club edition, but they're in immaculate condition. Little book club edition of Insomnia. Another book club edition of Nightmares and Dreamscapes. These are very nice. I've got Salem's Lot in hardback and Carrie. And again, my favourite Stephen King book of all time, The Shining, in one of my favourite covers ever. Dolores Claiborne in another book club edition, and another book club edition of Gerald's Game. Alright, now we're going into the bigger hardbacks here. So I have a copy of Pet Sematary, nice edition of Christine. Oh, this one's heavy. Copy of It, another copy of It in the original hardback. It's not a first edition, I think it's just a 10th impression, but you know, who cares. It's a copy of It in hardback, which is getting harder and harder to find. I also have 4 Past Midnight in hardcover, and beautiful edition of Needful Things. And we have Desperation, Rose Madder, and The Dark Half. Moving right along, we have hardback of Thinner, Tommyknockers, Firestarter. This edition's pretty rare. Eyes of the Dragon, another rare one. Cujo, On Riding, The Dead Zone, another rare one. And I have a couple of Dark Towers in hardcover. So we have Wolves of the Kala, Song of Susanna, Volume 7, The Dark Tower, The Dreamcatcher, Hearts in Atlantis, which I haven't read it before, I need to read that. And Doctor Sleep, sequel to The Shining, which is a brilliant book. Very, very good adaptation that came out a couple of years ago. I was very impressed with that one. I own the Blu-ray extended edition of Doctor Sleep, and it's just a brilliant movie. If you haven't watched that, I certainly suggest you do it. But there you go, folks. That is my Stephen King collection. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you later.